We got married too young, just 1 year after high school. At the time, it didn't feel reckless. It didn't feel rushed. It felt natural. We had grown up side by side, shared the same classrooms, the same friends, the same dreams. When we talked about the future, it always included both of us. Getting married felt like the next logical step, not a risk. I truly believed we were doing what we were supposed to do. We went to college together. We struggled together. Late night studying, part-time jobs that barely paid the bills, tiny apartments with thin walls and broken appliances. We didn't have much, but we had each other. She was my best friend, the person I talked to about everything, the one who knew when something was wrong before I ever said a word. Then I started working. That's where everything slowly began to fall apart, even though I didn't realize it at the time. At work, I met another woman. She knew I was married. She never pretended she didn't. There was no secret about that. One day, during a normal conversation, she asked me something so casually that it didn't seem dangerous at first. "Do you ever regret getting married so young?" I remember hesitating, not because I had an answer ready, but because something inside me reacted before my mind could catch up. That pause should have been a warning. It should have told me everything I needed to know. Instead of listening to it, I ignored it. I won't blame her. I never have. The one who was married was me. The one who had made a promise was me. The one who crossed the line was me. I started an affair. At first, I told myself it was harmless, that it didn't mean anything, that it was just excitement, just curiosity, just a mistake that would eventually fade. But mistakes don't fade when you keep feeding them. Eventually, I did the thing that still makes my chest feel tight when I think about it. I sat my wife down and told her I didn't love her anymore. I told her I wanted a divorce. She didn't scream. She didn't cry in front of me. She didn't ask why. She just said, "Okay," stood up, and walked out of the room. That reaction hurt more than anger ever could have. That night, I heard her crying. I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, listening to the woman who had loved me since we were teenagers fall apart in the next room. Every sob felt like it was aimed directly at me. I wanted to get up. I wanted to say something. I wanted to comfort her, to explain myself, to take some of the pain away. But how do you comfort someone when you are the reason they're hurting? So I stayed where I was. At the time, I convinced myself I was happy. I told myself I was finally free. Free to choose myself. Free to live the life I wanted. Free from responsibility, compromise, and guilt. At least that's what I told myself. The divorce was finalized quickly. We didn't have kids. We didn't own much. No long legal battles. Just paperwork, signatures, and silence. I moved to a bigger city almost immediately. I wanted distance. I wanted noise. I wanted to feel like I was starting over. For months, I lived the single life I thought I had missed. Parties, bars, random hookups that blurred together. Nights where I drank until I couldn't remember how I got home. Waking up on the floor or in the hallway because I never made it to the bed. I told myself this was living. After about 4 months, the excitement faded. After 6 months, the emptiness became impossible to ignore. I didn't know anyone. I didn't have real friends. I didn't have family. I had freedom and nothing else. The silence in my apartment was louder than any argument I'd ever had. I hated admitting it, but I missed my wife every single day. Not just her presence, but the stability, the quiet routines, the feeling of belonging somewhere. I never reached out. I didn't have the courage. Or maybe I didn't believe I deserved to. Then my affair partner moved to the same city. We still worked for the same company. She told me she moved just for me. At that point, I was lonely, depressed, and desperate to feel wanted. We started dating officially. She moved in with me. The truth is, I didn't love her. Not really. I think part of me stayed because I felt like I had to justify destroying my marriage. Like if I committed fully, then at least all that pain would have meant something. 2 years passed like that. Eventually, I wanted to move back to my hometown. My parents were getting older, and I wanted to take care of them. She didn't want to go. She was still deeply insecure about my ex-wife. That insecurity slowly turned into control. Questions, accusations, arguments over things that didn't matter. She pushed me to propose. I gave her a ring not because I was sure, but because I was tired of fighting. Meanwhile, my ex-wife was the one taking care of my parents. She drove them to appointments. She checked in on them. She sent me updates. We were civil with each other, polite, distant, and somehow she was still there for my family when I wasn't. My fiancé hated that. She tried to start fights with my ex over visiting my parents. She questioned her intentions. She questioned mine. Eventually, she tried to forbid me from going to see my parents for Christmas. That was the moment something inside me finally snapped. I ended the relationship. She acted shocked. She reminded me that I had left my wife for her, that I owed her loyalty, and for the first time in years, I said the truth out loud. The only reason I left my wife is because I was stupid. After the breakup, I completely fell apart. Quit my job. I broke my lease. I packed what little I had left and flew back to my hometown. I'm living with my parents now. The first time my ex-wife came over, she didn't know I was there. When she saw me, she froze. Then she hugged me. No anger. No accusations. Just a quiet, familiar hug. We talked for about 15 minutes. Small things. Normal things. Then I went back to my room and almost cried. She hasn't dated anyone since our divorce. I tell myself that means something, even though I know it's selfish. I want to beg her to take me back. I want to tell her I finally understand what I lost. But I don't, because she deserves better than someone who only learned the value of what he had after destroying it. For now, I'm content just seeing her when she visits my parents, making small talk, sharing moments that don't belong to us anymore. My parents invited her parents to spend Christmas together this year. They said yes. And the strange part is, I'm not excited because I think something will happen. I'm excited because nothing will. We'll sit in the same room. We'll smile. We'll talk about small things. And I'll be surrounded by people who used to be my life, knowing I don't belong there anymore. I finally understand what I lost. And that understanding came too late to change anything. I'm not sharing this for advice. I'm sharing it because some mistakes don't punish you loudly. They punish you quietly, for the rest of your life.